Dark Shadows, number 27, VTR 71966, air 8266, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. The men who founded the Collins fortune were pioneers, and the great house on the crest of Widow's Hill is a symbol of their strength. But it's different now. For the portraits that look down from the paneled walls see only the horror of unreasoning hatred.
David, are you hiding in here? David, is that you? Oh, Carolyn, did you see David when you came in?
If I had, I'd have crossed to the other side of the road. Where's my mother?
She's somewhere in the house looking for him.
You people don't know when you're well off. If that monster's gone into hiding, you should be celebrating, not hunting for him.
Carolyn, this is serious.
Oh, come on. He's only one 9-year-old boy. The world is full of them.
How many of them try to commit murder?
You weren't serious about that, were you?
I just want to know if you saw David or not.
No, I didn't. Now tell me what you meant about murder.
Well, maybe that was too strong a word. The main thing is that David has disappeared and we've got to find him.
Well, have you looked in the basement? He's gone down there a few times.
I think that's where your mother is right now.
Just what did he do?
It might be better if she told you.
Well, did he try to set the house on fire or push someone downstairs? Oh, come on, Vicky. I've just come from a guessing game. Don't
What
make
do
me
you
keep
mean?
it. Burke Devlin. I was in his hotel room this afternoon. Don't get worried. I had a chaperone. The sheriff was there, too.
Well, I don't think he'll be bothering Mr. Devlin anymore.
Don't count on that. With everyone around here but you and me thinking Burke tried to kill... Is that what you were talking about? David?
Yes.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Well, it's true. I think I'd better check out...
Vicky, wait a minute. You're talking about a kid tampering with the brakes on his own father's car.
I know.
But David... Vicky, he's only 9 years old.
I know that, too. He must have snuck into the garage and found the wrench and taken the valve from your uncle's car. And then he put the wrench on the front seat, which is where Burke Devlin said he found it.
But are you sure? I mean, how could you know?
Because for some reason which I'll never understand, David didn't throw the valve away. I found it in his dresser drawer less than an hour ago. Carolyn, I know it's a horrible...
What about the valve? Where is it?
I don't know.
But I thought you said you just found it.
I locked it up in my dresser drawer, and when I brought your mother upstairs to show it to her, it was gone. And so was David.
Oh, we sure do breed them in this family, don't we? My mother hasn't left the place in 18 years. My little cousin tries to kill his own father. These walls shouldn't be paneled, Vicky. They should be padded.
Well, maybe he didn't realize how serious it could be.
I wonder what they think of the last in the family line. The Collins tradition.
Carolyn.
You know what gets me is the way I've been tearing myself apart, feeling responsible for what happened.
But that's ridiculous. It wasn't your fault.
I keep remembering I was the one who brought Burke up here. If he tampered with those brakes, I gave him the chance to do it.
That part is over now. The only person we have to worry about is David. Will you help me look for him?
It was good to see you, Mr. Devlin.
How are you, Bronson?
Fine.
How was your trip?
Well, not bad after New York. Takeoff is a bit shaky. Yeah, let me take your coat.
Yeah, all right. How's your wife?
Well, not too happy. We had theater tickets for tonight.
Bronson, I wouldn't have asked you to fly up here to Bangor if I didn't think it was important.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining, Mr. Devlin. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to see that play anyway. Here, can I fix you a drink?
All right.
I thought you might want something after your drive over from Collinsport. How long did it take you?
About an hour. Did you bring all the papers?
I did. It's too bad you had to make that trip at all. I could have rented a car here at the airport and driven over and met you at your hotel.
Bronson, I thought it was clear. I don't want you coming near me in Collinsport.
Well, I only meant that.
And as far as anyone's concerned, you're handling this business. I have nothing to do with it. And the day that Elizabeth Stoddard or Roger Collins or anyone in that family connect you with me, that's the day you start looking for another job.
Cheers.
You nervous about something?
I know. Why?
Well, I just want you to be sure that you're dignified, secure, sincere. That's half the reason you're on the payroll.
Oh, well, don't worry about me, Mr. Devlin. I know my limit. Now, how long do you think it's likely that I might be up here?
Well, if you have any tickets to the theater in the next month, you'd better cancel them.
That long?
All depends on how well you do handle things here. Let me see what you brought.
Well, now, don't forget, Mr. Devlin, I expected a couple more weeks on this, you know.
So did I.
What made you change your plans?
An automobile accident. Oh, not mine. Roger Collins. But it started the sheriff nosing around, asking questions, so I had to move up the timetable. That's what you got?
Yeah. It's a month hard work there. We got a complete financial structure of the family, what they own, what they owe. Matter of fact, I've been able to get a net profit statement for the past 5 years.
I'm interested in the debt structure.
Well, that's there, too.
Make yourself comfortable. I'm going to be here for a while.
Are you going to read it all now?
That's what I came up here for.
Mr. Devlin.
Hmm?
A little while ago, you mentioned the sheriff. Why are you worried about him? We're not planning anything illegal.
I know. But when you're planning a surprise party, well, it spoils all the fun if the guests of honor know about it in advance.
The thing I'd like to know is how David got the valve out of my dresser drawer.
I thought he forced it open.
No, it was still locked when I got back there. The key, it was in my pocket.
Well, I'm afraid there's only one answer, Vicky. Ghosts.
Carolyn, I'm not joking.
Neither am I. Listen, we have spooks in all sizes and shapes in this mausoleum. And if you haven't seen them yet, just stick around. They'll be here. I'm only half kidding. Seriously, there is another way David could have gotten that drawer open.
How?
Wait here a minute. I want to get something from my room.
Carolyn, come back. Wait. Did you just hear something?
No.
Where? Back there. Behind that door.
Oh, that's not possible. That part of the house is closed off.
I thought I heard something fall.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure.
But no one ever goes back there.
But
No one.
I just heard something. A
And it's not the first time. Vicky, are you trying to scare me with my own ghost?
It's true. The other day when I was here, the door was open. And I went to it to see who it was, and it closed by itself. And when I tried it, it was locked.
Of course it was. It's always locked.
Is it? Who is it? Who's there? Mother.
What's the matter with you two?
Well, I mean,
Well, Vicky heard a noise, and the door opened just a little bit. We wondered who it was.
I dropped my keys. I had to stop and pick them up. Did you find David?
no.
Well, he's not in there. Miss Winters, let's go in your room. I'd like to talk to you. Carolyn was right. That wing of the house is always closed off, but I thought David might have found some way of getting in.
But what about the time when I saw the door open?
Well, the caretaker sometimes checks it. He probably forgot to shut it tightly.
Well, it closed, and when I tried it, it wouldn't open.
Well, it has a spring lock on the inside. As for its closing, it was probably the wind.
Wind in that hallway?
Miss Winters, I don't think we should spend our time discussing the reasons why a door might open or close. I'm much more concerned about David. Are you absolutely certain that object you found in his room was the valve to my brother's car?
Well, it looked like it.
Couldn't it have been something he picked up and saved, the way boys save rocks?
Well, if it wasn't the valve, then why was he so anxious to get it back?
Are you sure he did get it back?
Well, I locked it in a drawer, and then it was missing. Mrs. Stoddard, I don't understand.
I simply want to be absolutely certain. It's a horrible accusation. I want to be sure.
Well, so do I. But what else can we think?
Are you sure you did put it in that drawer?
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes to the rescue. Watch this.
And where did that key come from?
That dresser's a mate to the one in Carolyn's room. The keys are all the same.
Well, then David could have taken her key and opened my drawer with it.
I know how David could open the drawer, Miss Winters. I want to be certain he had a reason to.
I've told you.
Hey, when did you get interested in mechanics?
What?
I know you were a versatile gal, but I never...
What is it, Carolyn?
Mickey, where did you get this?
Why?
Well, there just happens to be a very well-thumbed page on the mechanics of assembling and disassembling a master brake cylinder.
Let me see that. Then that's it. This is how David learned to take the valve out of the car.
It's in your room, Miss Winters.
I know. He was so determined to give it to me. He said it was a present.
It's a strange gift, wouldn't you say?
Well,
It's fine.
I thought you might be pleased.
As far as it goes, but it doesn't go far enough.
Well, now, I told you that I expect to have a couple more weeks on this. After all, I think we are in pretty good shape.
Not good enough.
Well, I have a complete breakdown of all the notes outstanding that held by a credit company, a commercial credit company here in Bangor. Now, all we have to do is buy them up, call them in for payment.
Bronson, I don't need a lesson in finance. I know we can buy up the notes. I know we can call them in. But there's a lot more to it than that.
Well, I covered the cannery, the fishing fleet, the house.
And I told you, you've done a very fine job. But when I put your office on this assignment, I said I wanted information on every piece of property that family owns.
Well, I went after the big items first. Then when you cut the
No,
time
all
short,
right,
I did
all
my
right.
part.
Let's get it now. That family owns some property in town. Some houses down by the waterfront. A block of buildings back of Main Street. And some other parcels I don't even know about. I want appraisal values, liens, mortgages, everything.
Well, that's quite a big job, Mr. Devlin. I'll do the best I can. You can't expect better than that.
I expect you to earn that fat retainer I pay you. which means I want information and fast. Now, that's not too much to ask, is it?
Well, no.
Good. I want to do a job on that family. I want to hit them so hard they'll wish they never heard of me. And you'll get on it first thing in the morning.
Yes, you bet.
When do you expect to report on that other cannery?
Is that Logansport?
Yes. Now, don't tell me you haven't looked into that one, too.
Well, isn't it here?
No.
Well, I remember my secretary typing it up yesterday. That's the rival cannery that you were thinking of buying into, isn't it?
That's the one.
I don't know. That's kind of strange. I really don't understand it.
It's probably back on your desk in New York City, where it will do neither one of us any good.
Well, perhaps she made a mistake and mailed it out.
To me?
Well, after all, when I left New York, I didn't even know what hotel I was going to be staying at.
Hello, I want to call Collinsport. Yes, the Collinsport Hotel. Call me back.
Well, it wouldn't be there yet.
If it was sent special delivery, it would be. Bronson, if I get a piece of mail with your letterhead on it, we're both in trouble.
Maybe no one will notice.
In that town, everybody notices everything. And don't you forget it.
That's right, Roger. He's been gone about 3/4 of an hour. Well, if I knew where, I wouldn't be calling you. Well, he's your son, and he was very much upset. All I want you to do is get home as soon as you can. All right. Goodbye. Useless. Absolutely useless.
Isn't Uncle Roger coming?
I don't think he cares whether David ever comes back. Carolyn, I want you to go search the grounds.
Oh, look, he's only been gone a short time.
Darling, do you realize how upset he must be?
Mother, he was frightened and he ran. But he's bound to come back because don't forget, he's only 9 years old.
I'm not forgetting, and please hurry.
All right. Mother, what did Uncle Roger say?
Carolyn, please.
I mean, when you told him about the vow.
I didn't tell him.
Why not? Do you want him to go on thinking Burke was responsible when it was David?
I didn't tell him because I wasn't sure.
But Vicky just
I
told
know
you
what she said, but I can't believe it. I just can't. I have to be sure her story is true.
If that report hasn't arrived at my hotel, I want you to call your secretary and make sure that she sends it up here to you.
Yes, I intend to do that.
Hello. Yes, it is, Mr. Devlin. Hello, has any mail arrived for me today? Oh, good. Yes, I see. Thank you. What? When? Oh, yes. Oh, well, yes, thank you very much. Well, that does it.
What happened? Did the report come?
No, but the sheriff did. Had a search warrant, went through my hotel room. Well, he and I are going to have it out over that one. That seems to be my day, Bronson. Not only the sheriff, but the clerk tells me they caught someone trying to sneak into my room.
A thief?
No. A little boy. I'll be in touch.
F Troop faces disaster when an overeager major tries to turn Sergeant O'Rourke into a commissioned officer. Watch the fun tonight at 9, 8 o'clock Central Time on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.